Dylan was all hyped that Mod Pizza had a cauliflower crust and he could have pizza again on this keto diet. Then he finds out that fucking cauliflower crust is only like 8 grams less carbs than a regular.
1 gram.
1 gram less carbs than a regular fucking crust.
I want to call corporate. How the fuck does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Unless you make one thing with bread and you make one thing with fucking shitty broccoli and it's the same amount of carbs? Eat my asshole.
Yeah.
Are you kidding
This
me?
is
the Best Friends Ask Why podcast
with Aaron
and Dylan.
It's so tight.
Welcome to Best Friends Ask Why, episode 14. With the ghost of Christmas past.
I don't even think you can see that in the camera.
Oh, that's okay.
Nope.
Almost. See the ghost of Christmas past.
Nope.
Because Christmas is past and it's the ghost.
Well, now it's future.
Well, you're very sleepy today, but
Fuck.
I do want to congratulate all of the people listening to this podcast and yourself, and I'll congratulate myself just because fuel my ego, that we have majorly made it through the bulk of winter.
Yeah.
That's a rough...
This is the first winter where I'm like, fuck. I wish it would last like another.
That's what I mean, though. But it's
months.
like we've talked about for like the last 2-3 months since we've been doing this, that winter has been like this, the sign of death to you.
Yeah,
it's been always like a toxic kind of
first winter where I'm like, fuck, just stay around a little bit longer.
Yeah. What have been the blocks that have really kept you into it, and why you're sad that it's gone?
Snowboarding.
That's it.
That's it. Like, this season was the first season I've ever been able to be like, oh, I'm gonna go snowboarding whenever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
Essentially, aside from like days where the mountain's not open at night, but yeah. So I've been going as often as possible. Most weeks it's been like twice a week.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic.
I feel like you've been doing a lot of stuff other than just that, though. I mean, snowboarding has definitely been the bulk of it, but this winter has been... I don't know. I mean, I wasn't around for the other winters, but...
Well, the other winters is just sit inside and fucking watch Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. It's like this winter, you've been like kind of... There's been more books in your life.
Yeah.
Physical activity has been more... I mean, just mostly snowboarding. You've been like working out a lot on your own, but...
But even just snowboarding, I'm like... I had... the power belly for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I could definitely tell I had some more here, but...
Like this.
Even... the keg!
Yeah.
Even with just snowboarding, I've noticed, like, weight starting to drop. So it's like, oh, shit. This is...
Well, it's like... It's hours and hours of sustained activity. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and when we snowboard, I don't think we do it like a lot of other people who go to the mountain, where... they go do like 1 or 2 runs and they go sit in the lodge for like 2-3 hours.
I don't do anything like that.
No, I don't either. Which is, I think a lot of people, they do that, where they'll go and hang out in the lodge, or they'll go and sit at the table for a little bit or whatever.
Yeah, I think leisure. Ray sent me this meme today, and it was like kind of this guy changing his perspective. I don't know if he was necessarily changing his perspective, but he sent me this meme of this character that was measuring push-ups as letdowns instead of push-ups. Mm-hmm. I'll pull it up real quick. He sends this to me, and it says... It's one alien talking to another alien. He says, "Are you in pain?" The one says, "Yes." He says, "I push myself up to let myself down. I'm up to 50 letdowns a day. So many daily letdowns." He's like, "I have acclimated to it." And I was like, I was thinking of it to myself, and I was like, yeah, dude, like a relaxation is reserved for a specific time.
Yeah.
And when I'm not doing that, I'm not doing that. And so trying to, like, when we snowboard, I'm like...
It's run.
If we're on the mountain, we're going until we stop. Like, until
we have to, like, piss or shit our pants.
Yeah, we don't ever go like, hey, are you thinking about lunch soon? Or it's whenever we decide to go, it's usually like, hey, I'm burnt. Let's go. Yeah. Like, that second we decide to leave... Yeah. It's not like hey, I think we could get a couple more runs in. It's just like we're just burning it at both ends until it's over. But that's kind of how I do everything. Like, that's how I try to do everything, at least.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put my shit on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, that was mine.
It was yours.
And these last couple of times that I've gone solo, which is an amazing experience just to go by yourself too.
Oh, for sure.
That's super cool. At first I was like, oh, this is super lame.
When I got back into snowboarding, when I got that board that you were riding earlier in the season, that's what I did. No one would go up with me, and so I'd just go by myself, and it's super fun. Like some people, like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos about snowboarders and like vlogs and stuff, and they talk about how snowboarding is way better when you have headphones. And I don't know, like, that I feel that yet. Maybe once I'm like super good at snowboarding.
Yeah, I haven't listened to headphones, but I've definitely turned on my phone.
Oh, you have?
To music and Rode, because it's loud enough to where you can hear the music without headphones.
Yeah.
And the past couple of times I've gone by myself, there hasn't been a shitload of people up there, so I don't feel like an asshole blasting my stuff.
Yeah.
But I'll always like turn it down as soon as I go up to the run, because I don't want to be that guy.
Just that dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always find myself that's kind of the only form of meditation that I've been able to implement on like a constant is martial arts or working out or
the whoosh of the mountain.
Yeah, or snowboarding or mountain biking. It's like the sounds that happen organically in those situations are like they're very pleasurable to me, and so just like the sound of the and the every time you're moving snow and your edges hitting, and I just feel like I can immerse myself in the feelings of going off jumps and shit more. You know, that like feeling when you like balls go up out your mouth and you're just like excited.
I had a whole bunch of that this last run.
Did you?
Because I was hitting these little trails like in the trees. And there was one that I hit.
Was it Stevens or Baker?
Oh, fuck. This was at Stevens. Like, it was a little bit over my head. Like, lots of fucking ups and downs, and then just this big fucking launch.
Really?
Yeah. But I've gotten to the point now where I can just kind of bomb shit, and it's a super fun feeling.
Yeah, it's really fun.
To not have to worry about, like, oh, am I going to fall?
That was what was fun, is, like, after going a few times, once we went to, like, Colby took us up to Big Chief, I just feel comfortable enough that I was like, ooh, powder section that's not the beaten path. I was just like, I'm going to go play here, and if I fall, I'll be fine. And I am comfortable enough to ride a certain level of terrain. Like, I'm not going to bomb mogul type stuff, because one, that's not very fun to me.
I like it now.
Do you?
Yeah, not like the super deep moguls, but like the section by the terrain park at the end of Skyline.
Yeah, where it cuts across. There's that one little.
Yeah, where it's like that downhill, and then the little entrance is right there, and you've got the jump or the fun box jump.
Yeah,
and then but they get these little like medium-sized moguls, and they're not super stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
But when you're carving that shit, now I like to hit those as jumps.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
that's cool.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see. I mean, like, you've snowboarded probably like three times since we snowboarded last.
I think 4, because I went up to Baker once.
You went up on Sunday. You went up to Baker.
And then the week before, I think I went to Baker, and you weren't able to go as well. Because I went to Baker twice.
You've been to Baker twice now?
And then I went to Stevens twice.
Well, if you've been to Baker twice, I went with you one of those times.
Well, I went to Baker twice without you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. The one time I went up solo and met up with Sadie, like, at
that was the day after we went.
Yeah. And then I went up again, like, the next day, I think.
Well, the next day was a Monday.
Okay. Maybe it was just the last weekend, though. I know I've been to Baker twice without you.
Because I don't remember going to Baker a second time without me.
One was without Sadie. I just went by myself up to Baker.
Oh, that was the time when you went down that really steep section and you were laughing?
Yeah, because I fucking ate shit and then fell backwards the whole time.
Yeah, I think that must have been the other time. So, and then you've gone to Stevens twice other than that too? Because you went up on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, that's true. Because Friday you went
Friday
night
and
boarding,
Sunday,
and then
yeah.
Sunday you went. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm excited to see, like, I hope you didn't get, like, way fucking better than me, but we'll see.
I think you're still better at just general terrain and shit,
Yeah.
but I got those nose rolls and the
Yeah, you do.
butters.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so much fun.
Are they?
Yeah.
But nose rolls, like, what do you mean? Like, so a nose roll, for people who don't know, is kind of like if you were to revert, almost.
Yeah, it's pretty much what
if
it
you
is.
skateboard or played Tony Hawk, it's like you use the nose of your board to kind of flip to the other direction.
Yeah.
So you'll flip switch.
Yeah. And I do that all the time now.
Do
it's
you?
So much fun.
Because you can ride switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely can't ride switch at fucking all.
So I watched a YouTube video that broke it down. I was like, oh, that's stupid that I haven't fucking thought about it this way. But basically, when you go to ride switch, just take the idea of what you do regular or goofy or whatever, but your regular normal stance, and apply that to what you do switch. And like, it sounds super simple, but when I was trying to ride switch, I actually like thought about it, and I was like, holy fuck, this makes a whole lot of sense. Like, it's there's still certain areas where if I get going too fast and I feel my edge catch, I'm not as finessey to try and break out of that. But as far as like, okay, I'm going to carve to the right, so I need to lean into my toes more and then push with my back foot and just shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, thinking about that more.
I think it's definitely something I
consciously.
could do. Like, it just is a weird dexterity that, like,
Yeah.
I do that with martial arts. So, like, I spend a lot of my time switching back and forth. It's
Yeah.
like a constant thing that I like to build. But with snowboarding, it's always just felt super weird. Once you go to the left, I just feel like it's how many seconds until I hit my ass on the ice. Yeah.
Well, and you get used to, when we were doing those spins and shit, just to get used to like 180ing and whatever, when you spin around, your body starts to keep that motion up of carrying you back around to your normal stance. And that's a hard instinct to fight, but it definitely helped my riding a lot, because there'd be jumps where I'd land kind of crooked or whatever, and I'd be able to pull it out a little bit better. And then trying to do the 360s off of jumps where I'd over rotate and need to like spin it out a little bit more, I can do that better because of riding switch. So riding switch is key.
That's
for sure.
cool. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm definitely like, it's definitely something I want to get into. There's like a certain level of like, I'm excited for you, but also my inner competitive comes out. That's just like a natural thing I deal with all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I measure certain things that I go through in life with like my inner bully. And I feel like if I feel challenged, I go, is that ego, or is this like me trying to better myself? It's like I have to measure that. That's the contest. It's like, am I just being an asshole, or do I just want to be a better version of myself? And so I just sometimes get like kind of cunty, where I'm like, I'm stoked, but I'm also like, why can't I fucking switch? And I'm like, Aaron landed the 360 first. Fuck, like yeah. And all these things, I'm just like, I want to be.
Well, you landed it off the box, like the regular jump first. I landed mine
that's
off
true.
the weird little hip.
Yeah, but
thing
mine was
first.
pretty much just like it was like a half cab mostly, it's like it's not like a half cab, but like I landed and then I kind of pulled it out. I got kind of close, but there's like no pop. When we were doing the half pipe, there was a lot more pop to it, and there was just a lot more
so
going.
nice.
And I did land one, but you didn't fucking get it on videotape. God damn it! If you guys haven't seen that video, I posted on my Instagram story.
Jesus.
Aaron, as I landed like a perfectly flush 180, Aaron, like, he had his goggles on while he was recording, so he pans the camera exactly away to where I'm going to ride off to. So right as my board hits the ground, he pans away, so you cannot see it, and you can hear me go like, yes, and then it is not on film.
I couldn't see you the whole fucking time. Like, I was just guessing as to where you were with that fucking camera.
But it was just funny. It was like you were doing this fluid movement, and then you were like, snap, and it snapped perfectly away from me.
Yeah. My bad.
That's all good. Yeah, I'm excited for winter to be over because I'm stoked for summer, but I'm like,
Yeah.
I am like losing snowboarding is cool because this is definitely like the most I've gone snowboarding in probably the last 10 years.
Oh, I'm definitely buying the season pass because just in this month alone would have paid for my season's pass.
Yeah, that's true because you've been going like crazy.
Yeah.
Well, unless
I've been
you
going
decide to go to
2
Baker
to 3
quite
times a week.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna make time to go to Whistler next year too, so that works. And then I think it covers some mountains down in Oregon, doesn't it?
I don't know about Oregon. I know it does in Colorado.
Oh, well, fuck. Trip to Colorado.
Colorado, get it? Yeah. I definitely, I hope to make that a reality. There's a lot of stuff going on this year that...
Well, when I was looking at the pass, it said you can put $49 down, and then you pay the remaining balance in September. So the $49 down just reserves your pass, and then you can save up until September to pay for the whole thing.
I mean, like, yeah, that sounds totally cool, too, but I also have, like I said, a lot of shit coming up. Marriage is happening. I'm supposed to pay for, like, honeymoon. I'm trying to get my sleeve done before I get married.
Yeah.
I finally, like, I dealt with that. We talked about it on one of the older podcasts, but I dealt with that skin issue for so long. It's like finally my arm is kind of in good wits. It's literally since Aaron got home, it's kind of finally gotten back.
In check.
Yeah. It was really fucking brutal. Like, it broke me down mentally for like a long time.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of tattoos, and so that itch has hit me again, like really bad, where it's like, I mean, I started this thing when we got Archer as a puppy.
Yeah.
Archer's my dog, for people who don't know. He's like almost 4 years old now. And so, like, I started a sleeve and then disappeared from my tattoo artist.
Yeah.
And in that time, my tattoo artist has moved from one shop to the one in Seattle, and then from that Seattle shop to the Arcanum down to Golden Rule Tattoo in Arizona.
Yeah.
So what's cool is, I mean, we have a reason to go down there. So me and Aaron are going on a trip down to Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, to see Thy Art Is Murder and Architects play a show at the Van Buren, which is like this really cool looking fucking venue. I'm really excited to go check that place out. But my tattoo artist is like 10 blocks from that spot, and I was like, oh sweet, okay, I'll probably get like 5 hours done that day. I would like to have gotten 8, but he just had someone booked earlier. So
I talked to Christina about the show, and she's gonna try and see if Gideon wants to go too.
Oh, really?
Would be super dope.
That'd be super cool. That'd be hella cool.
Yeah.
Is it a 21 and over? Do you know if it's all ages?
13 and up, and under 13 is admitted with a legal guardian.
Oh, okay. So he'd be.
So
good
she
then.
might go and bring him.
Oh, very
or
cool.
If she doesn't want to go, it'll just be us and him.
If she doesn't want to go, just like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah.
Remember when I showed you Oceano like fucking 12 years ago? Get ready, yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to do that, man. I'm excited that now.
I'm excited that we have all the tickets, and it's a reality, and it's not going to be like the Buffalo trip.
Yeah, that was very cool. I do this thing where instead of making wise choices with my money, when I see shows have popped up that I'm like, I can't fucking miss this.
Yeah.
Well, because last year I missed a show that really kind of hurt my feelings. I was like, why didn't I fucking go?
Yeah.
It was just like my brain. Like, Rogan has that thing called, like, conquer your inner bitch. And, like, that day, my inner bitch, which I'm not trying to be offensive, but my inner bitch was me deciding that I wasn't going to do something, even though that after I had done it, it would have brought in, like, heavy value to my life. This?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so I didn't go to the show, and I dreaded it because I had certain people who went to the show and they had so much fun, and like I saw videos of it and it looked incredible.
Which show was it?
It was Oceano, Chelsea Grin.
Was it that show we were supposed to go to with Mike, but we didn't?
Whitechapel, yeah. It was like all of the horsemen of deathcore were all playing one show at my favorite venue in the state, like at Showbox at the Market, which is a beautiful venue. It has I think it has good sound. I mean, I'm not a real cunt about that kind of stuff where I'm like, this place sounds like shit, but I really, really like that spot. And so I missed out on that one, and that was my brain telling me like you missed out on this thing.
I also had a hand in that, didn't I? Because I was like, oh, I don't want to go. So I think that kind of killed your motivation a little bit.
Yeah, you didn't want to go, and then I was kind of like, I'm just gonna work a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
And then once I got out of the 12-hour day, I could have easily busted down there.
Yeah,
but I didn't. And then I found out my coworker Jason, who I've only gotten to go to one show with me, which was the Thy Art show.
Yeah.
He was down there and he was sending me videos, and they were incredible
he
quality.
Was just being a dick, like, hey,
no,
look
I
what you're
asked him
missing.
to. I was torturing myself. But I was like, yeah, send me those. They look really cool. And
you
then,
were cucking yourself to
pretty
the
much,
show.
dude. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, just fuck my wife in front of me. Yeah. And that fucking sucked. And so now there's a couple other bands that some of my favorites that are playing again, and I'm just binge buying tickets.
Yeah. That was me, because you clipped on that laugh.
I'm saying a lot today.
I turned you up.
Oh, you turned me up. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck, I gotta stop. I totally forgot what I was saying.
The shows.
Oh
lots
yeah, the
of cool
show.
bands.
So like I binge bought like five tickets
Animals
to
as
Animals as Leaders, because
yeah.
I've seen them before, and it's so incredible that and there's not enough vocals that I can let people be like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, you got to see this.
Yeah. Well,
So-
they're super, like, if you can appreciate musicianship at all, and it's mainly vocals that turn you off to the metal scene, like, they're the band to listen to, because they're like, it's jazz metal essentially.
Yeah,
like,
it's 100%. I mean, it has gent elements, but it is not like, it's not my daily listen type stuff. If you listen to my daily listen stuff lately, is like Kadinja, and it's just like really, really heavy guitars. I crave that heavy sound, man. It just puts the chaos and the anxiety away.
Yeah,
it kind of shelters it for a bit. And so I bought tickets to that, and then I bought tickets to Architects the second they dropped. You text me, and then you were like, hey, should I get those tickets? And I was like, I already bought them like 2 months ago. Yeah.
Well, I know you showed me a picture of them, but I didn't know if you had bought them, or if you were just saying, hey, the tickets are on sale.
Oh.
But...
No.
Now I remember that picture that you sent.
Because at the beginning of winter, you were going through this phase of like, I'm tired. Well, you're always tired, but like you were going through this phase of I'm tired and I'm going to let it dictate what I do. Yeah. And so I would just buy tickets. So I'd be like, we're going.
Yeah.
Or you'd still back out sometimes, but I'd just be like, there was one less thing in the way.
Yeah.
And that was before you got like a baller job and now you're richer than I am. But,
no. I just don't have financial obligations like you do.
Yeah, true story. And time obligations. He's like, oh, Dylan, let's go to the mountain. I'm like, bro, I got to go to my brother's show.
Like,
which was actually really good, though.
Yeah.
Like, I wish he would have played more of a part, but the Comedy of Errors, old Shakespeare play, two of his really good friends play like two of the very like main integral parts.
Yeah.
And these two guys played servants in it, and they pretty much are just lackeys for these two other guys. If you don't know like the story of it, it's an old ass story, so I'm not gonna spoiler alert you. You could just fucking I'll talk about the story. But at the beginning, this dad has a bunch of twins. What are you writing?
Topics to bring up.
Oh, okay. I was like, I keep thinking you're like psychologically breaking me down.
Oh, he said twins. This dude's a fucking crazy person.
You wrote blink, and I was like, am I blinking too much? And then I thought when I say too much, he was like, tell him to stop saying
Little self-conscious.
But this dad gets separated from his twins. He has a set of twins, and then he buys another set of twins from this beggar who couldn't take care of them. And then him and his wife get separated.
I'm just gonna buy some fucking kids.
And they old times, dude. I don't know what they were up to. He was starting a farm. Well, he pretty much bought slaves for these other two, and so those two dirty kids hung out with these two clean kids. If you watch the movie, it's kind of like that. Like at the beginning, one's wrapped in like these red cloth, and the other one's wrapped in like burlap.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, okay, those are the poor ones.
Damn dirty children, unclean.
Yeah, but the poor ones end up being servants to the other ones, and they're separated, but they look identical because they're all twins, so they get mixed up throughout the story, and it's just a super mix-up throughout the whole thing. Their wives are mistaking them for the other one. And two of his good friends played two of those characters, and so it was like really fun to watch it. The first time, I just Shakespeare talk. You're like, what the fuck are you
that
saying?
Elizabethan shit?
Yeah, everything has a thou on it, and you're just like, this is too fast.
Yeah.
It was exciting because I was like, damn, these kids, like these teenage dudes, or they're like adults now.
Yeah.
They're like 18, some of them. You're just blown away that they can memorize these insane monologues. I was like, damn, fucking high school theater don't fuck around. These kids were actually really good. So it wasn't too much of a, like, I wasn't fretted over the fact that I had to miss snowboarding for that because it was good.
Yeah.
I was just so fucking tired though, man. Yeah. We've been dealing with that a lot lately too.
Yeah. There are days where my sleep's real on point, and my Aura Ring says, oh, it's charging right now, but my Aura Ring says, hey, you can do whatever the fuck you want today. But there are other days where, like last night, I was telling you about this, but my brain does this thing like every now and then where it gets like caught in some sort of make-believe equation loop to where it's like error cannot compute, fucking trying to divide by zero and all this crazy shit. And that's the only way I know how to explain it, because it's not like I'm obsessively thinking about certain things. It's like it's just trying to do this same equation, it feels like, where it's trying to solve this complex problem. And I don't know what the problem is. And all I see is like ones and zeros and shit when I close my eyes. And it just repeats this same thing over and over again. And I don't know what it's repeating. I just know this feeling of being stuck in a loop.
Weird.
And
I have a weird thing like that too, where it's almost like a really low level panic attack.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily thoroughly similar, but I have this thing sometimes where I'll just be walking through and I feel like, you ever seen VLC Media Player on Windows? It's like an orange cone. You could use it to play illegally downloaded movies and shit. But you could change like the time at which you listen to something. Like how on Audible you can listen to something at like 1.25 speed. My brain will do this thing sometimes where I'll feel anxious, but not in a negative way. Like a lot of the time, my anxiety is like I just kind of feel like someone's poking me a little bit and I just feel slightly triggered. This isn't like that. It just feels like my brain was put to like 1.28 speed or something like that. And so there's voices in my head being played really quickly. Mm-hmm. And it reminds me, it's like almost like deja vu of maybe like something that Nathan Penaluna said to me one time, or a situation that I was in. I don't know if it's like traumatic related or something, but like my brain plays this one thing. And this same thoughts come through at the same time, but I can't recognize any of them. Yeah. But my brain's just playing at a high speed. I feel like I'm walking faster. I feel like I'm doing everything faster. But it's in a way that I'm looking at myself being like, why am I moving so fast? And everything's just going like... It's really strange. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. I kind of get that too, but I feel like my version of that is more of a flow state to where I'm autonomously doing this task really fast and efficiently, but I'm also not even thinking about it. So
that mine happens. That happens to me when I'm listening to music. So that's why lately I haven't been able to do anything else, is because my brain's been so subdued and my emotional state has been in like a weird one. Not in a way that I can understand, like, hey, I'm experiencing sadness or I'm experiencing depression.
You're sad that winter's ending.
Yeah, maybe it's that. I feel weird and kind of lazy about everything. Like, I'm still working out. And
it's that goddamn cauliflower crust.
Don't even start. I'm hurt, Aaron. I'm hurt.
Oh, in the soul.
I'm hurt.
So Dylan was all hyped that Mod Pizza had a cauliflower crust and he could have pizza again on this keto diet. Then he finds out that fucking cauliflower crust is only like 8 grams less carbs than a regular
1 gram.
1 gram less carbs than a regular fucking crust.
I want to call corporate. How the fuck does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Unless you make one thing with bread and you make one thing with fucking shitty broccoli and it's the same amount of carbs? Eat my asshole.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's made
bullshit.
with eggs and milk. You're like, what kind of milk did you put
flour.
in it? Coffee creamer?
Yeah.
Did you make the fucking pizza crust out of coffee creamer?
They just dumped a cup of sugar in it.
It literally is like they fucking like were accidentally like they're making Kool-Aid and they're like, oh, I slipped, and you put the whole fucking thing. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's the horse.
I mean, it's not that much sugar, but it's a lot of carbs. It's like 6
Yeah.
grams sugar, but it's 80 grams of carbs, which realistically, I've been doing keto long enough that like my metabolism is better at processing different fuels. But that's fucking frustrating, man. I thought I was in the clear. I definitely like that was the thing about mod is I didn't feel like I was cheating.
Yeah.
Like Chipotle is so fucking good to me because one, I think it's incredibly flavorful for being fucking $8 bowl of food.
Yeah.
Like it is ridiculously good. I went to Qdoba 3 days ago. I know you love both. I went to Qdoba the other day. Not even the same fucking genre. Qdoba is delicious. If I don't want to drive to go to Chipotle, I will gladly settle for Qdoba. But when I take a bite of Qdoba, I don't have the depth of flavor that I do from Chipotle.
Yeah.
But Chipotle, I can eat on a keto diet and feel like $1 billion because it fuels me in the perfect way and it is goddamn delicious, and I know that the ethics behind the company that they at least have some sort of reasonable attainment of their materials, which is awesome. I listened to like the how it's made after Currens talked about that. I listened to that one about Chipotle because I'm fucking obsessed. I mean, me and Chelsea are having it at the wedding, so I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
It's gonna be lit.
And that's the only reason I'm going.
Fuck off. You fucking twat. I spent $100. You could get Chipotle for way cheaper than how much you spent to run your tux. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. You need to make better decisions there.
Oh, shit. So, I want to go back to that bitch
Are you
thing.
peeking again?
Oh, yeah, I probably talked too loud. I mean, we'll fucking turn it down. That was me. I want to go back to that bitch thing because we've alluded to it, but we haven't really talked about it.
We talked about it. Did we talk about it a little bit?
We didn't talk about the backstory at all on the podcast. We've just kind of poked fun. But I don't know what episode it was. It's been a little bit now. But we got a message on Instagram saying how when Dylan and I poke fun at each other and say things like, oh, don't be a little bitch, or conquering your inner bitch, or basically whenever we use that kind of phrasing, it could be potentially alienating to our female audience, which I understand, and we both understand that it could be potentially alienating.
We've had, like, initially, the way you react to this is just kind of as dudes, you're just like, oh, fuck off. Like, you're just like, take a deep breath. Is this really what to worry about? But we understand, we both clearly, this podcast is intended to be like a funny thing, but it's really just us bitching about feelings and random shit.
Yeah.
We had multiple conversations with different types of people.
Yeah. We talked to Chelsea and Ben for what, like an hour and a half almost?
It was probably about an hour, yeah.
Yeah, about like the whole situation and if that was something that we should actually focus on censoring. Like, we didn't just take it at face value and move on and not care about it. Like, we actually had in-depth conversations with just us and then with Ben and Chelsea to try and gain outside perspective. And I heard something the other day. I don't remember if it was on like a Rogan podcast or if it was on some other podcast, but it talked about 1% censorship. And how it's basically the if you give a mouse a cookie thing. And I don't want to fall back on the, well, that's just us, and if you don't like it, fuck off.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to, one, be disingenuous because we're going to talk like that to each other off of the podcast regardless.
The entire scope of this podcast is for us to see fully who we are and how we are interpreting life. So maybe you could learn from either our mistakes or learn something from us or learn from our perspective. That's two things. That's the only thing that me and Aaron have that's unique to us and no other person on the planet has is our perspective.
Yeah, and our personalities maybe.
Yeah, personality. Oh, yeah, but that's
I
mean, but your personality comes down to the way that you perceive things.
Yeah.
Like Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about that today. I was listening to it, and he was talking about what do you have that no one else has, and it's your perspective.
That's true. But I just, after hearing that 1% censorship, to where it's basically they just chip away until you are saying exactly what they want you to say.
Yeah.
And I don't mean they as in like, oh, it's us or them and they're the enemy and blah, blah, blah. It's just if we give into one thing and consciously make this effort to censor ourselves, then it's just a matter of time until somebody else says like, oh, I don't like when you say pineapples or fucking, I know it's a ridiculous example, but I'm just trying to pull something off the top of my head. Like, and then we have to worry about not saying pineapples on top of bitch. And then it's just this downhill spiral to where I would rather just be sincere and say, hey, if you don't like when we use that kind of language, then maybe this podcast isn't for you. But when we do speak like that, it's not in a way to be demeaning to anyone but ourselves, maybe. Like,
it's possible that we've said things about certain people, but I think overall, me and you, the way that we perceive other people usually isn't in a super negative light. Yeah. I don't ever go like, I fucking hate this guy. I mean, about Kurt Cobain I do, but no, I'm just kidding. I just sold that, so I got to sell it for forever. Yeah. I just don't care for their music. But if you meet us, hopefully you get the opportunity to do so. If you're a listener who doesn't know us in person at this point in the podcast, it's more than likely that most people listening know us in person.
Yeah.
And if you measure the way that we are in life, I don't think that we are doing things or the way that we act is out of from maybe
a malicious place,
a malicious or an oppressive standpoint. We're both very loving and accepting people, and the words that we use to I don't even know in those scenarios. It's just like I don't understand I understand the issue, but
this is a moment where we can acknowledge our privilege.
Yeah.
It's
you can. I mean, I understand the voice that you use, but you could say that in a regular one because then they're gonna just be cunty about when you said the one thing you should have said, you said it in a cunt voice.
I'm still gonna say it in a cunt voice because I feel
that was one of Jaden's complaints. Is he's like every time you do a opposing viewpoint, you always go nah. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'll stop doing that.
Well, I'm still gonna do it because that's who the fuck we are.
That's totally fine. Yeah, no, I'm just messing with you.
But it is a place where we can acknowledge our privilege. I just think that that feels like a buzzword, and that's kind of why I say it in a cunty voice, is because it's like a hot topic 100%, thing, like where people virtue signal and shit. But I was thinking about this in the car the other day, and it's because I've never had words that kind of oppress me except for like fatty and dumbass and shit like that.
I get low-key triggered about the word bro.
Bro?
Not people saying bro to me, but calling me a bro.
Yeah.
Because it objects my ability to experience depth in this life. And that could be shitty to people who are bros. It just makes you shallow. Yeah, for some reason, that's my negative connotation of the word bro. Because, bros are fun. It's not a big deal. But when people give me a frat boy type thing, I'm I feel like I try to live my life pretty Renaissance man-y.
Yeah.
And I get low key triggered about that too. So
I feel like if they're calling you a bro, they don't really know you.
Ben calls me a bro.
Oh, well, that's just him trying to fucking trigger you.
Probably, yeah.
Stop it, Ben.
How dare you? Hurt my feelings.
But it is a place where we can acknowledge that we come from a privileged area, and things like the word bitch, we haven't had to deal with any sort of oppression with that. But at the same time, when I think of that word, at this point in my life now, I don't associate it with women.
And if I did think about it with women, it would 100% be applied to another pop culture thing, which is fucking Key and Peele.
Yeah.
That's the only way I've ever used the word bitch. Mm-hmm. If somebody's a mean person, I reserve it for 2 people on the planet. I'll call them a cunt.
Yeah.
But that's reserved for 2 people on the planet. I love the shit out of people. Mm-hmm. And I don't typically think this person's just dog shit. I don't like to feel that way because I think everyone has the ability to be cool in certain times.
Yeah.
Definitely some people are more triggered than other people, but I don't.
Well, the word bitch to me doesn't have that female connotation that I think it does for females.
Yeah.
In my eyes, bitch is just being less than your potential. When I think about, oh, you're not going to do this because you're scared, you're being a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
you're not living up to what you could be doing.
And realistically, bitch is a female dog.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know who applied it to a woman. I understand that it is, like, ingrained in society as applied against women.
Yeah.
But to me, it just calls out my weakness. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if that's calling female dogs weak. I think female dogs are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's just a label of weakness. And, like, I don't know, like, would it be less triggering to say the word wimp? It's going to take me a couple years to figure out, like, to just reintegrate wimp into bitch.
That's where it comes into this give a mouse a cookie thing. Like,
Yeah.
It's, in my eyes, because I'm not doing it maliciously and I'm not saying it to anyone who is not a close personal friend, it's my fucking language to speak, and I'm sorry if it offends people, but if it offends you, I'll apologize, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing it. It's not hate speech. I'm not saying it in a way to be like, fuck women.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm going to keep fucking saying it. I just wanted to address it because I feel like it is it's worthy of having the discussion about.
100%.
But I'm not comfortable with changing that aspect of my personality because I don't feel that it merits change.
Yeah. Yeah, if somebody brought something up that was, like, inherently negative, like, somebody reviewed the podcast this week, and they gave us 3 stars because we laughed too much. Mm-hmm. I don't give a shit. Fuck our rating up, dude. Fucking just murder our rating. I don't care.
Well,
like,
to be fair, they also said we have very interesting topics and we...
Yeah, I understand that, but we lost 2 stars for laughter. That's 2/5 of the score for enjoying ourselves too much. I can understand the frustration. Like, oh, it's hard to understand what's going on, like, with talking.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we even doing, though?
Yeah.
You are listening to us talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we're recording it. Would you rather us just cry at each other? Like, I mean, like, I can understand it. It can be like, sometimes podcasts can be frustrating for any multitude of things.
Yeah.
But to be like, there's too much laughter. I posted on the Instagram story. I was like, I'm just never going to enjoy myself ever again. Like, no, honestly, I would rather have this podcast be a pit for money that we just throw into and nothing ever comes of it than calm down our laughter.
For real.
Need more of it.
Yeah.
I love it. Like when Dane was here and we were just laughing our dicks off, it's the best. There's nothing more fun than laughing all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
And, like, I have other people, like Sadie, the only reason she probably has ever listened to the podcast, she's like, just because D, your laugh kills me.
Yeah.
Every time I laugh in any scenario, she goes like, I love it. Mariah, probably her favorite quality about me, she's one of my best men in my wedding, is that I laugh loud as shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I'll find my niche in the people who like to listen to me laugh.
Someone with a laugh fetish.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh my God, I love this podcast.
Fucking guy, he laughs so loud.
It's great. Another thing that I wrote down is Burning Man.
Yeah.
I know we've touched on it before, but I just want to put out, like, to whoever listens to this, if you have any information on Burning Man, what to expect your first time, how to go about going your first time, if you want to go with us, I would love to arrange, like, a group of people to all go to Burning Man eventually, because that is a goal of mine ever since reading that Stealing Fire book. Like, I'm all for it. I followed a bunch of Burning Man shit on Instagram. Like,
I'm surprised you have to. I mean, like, putting it out there for people who want to go to kind of hit up. I know Jordan Tisdale wants to go. I know Dane wants to go. But, like, I feel like you can find all that information.
I'm sure you
online.
can, but it's also... I like hearing it instead of being like, oh, well, this guide says to bring this, and that, and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, that's nice research to have. But if I could have somebody be like a Burning Man mentor,
you should
I'd
go to
rather
the critical mass. I think that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a local mini Burning Man.
Oh, okay.
Sean Burns, I think he listens to the podcast. I don't know. I mean, he's talked to me about the podcast before.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely is a participant in that, and so I'll try and touch bases with him and see when that happens. I think it might be like late July, August-ish.
Oh, okay.
It's on a weekend. I think it's up in like Arlington or like up there a little bit.
All right.
You might be able to go check that out. That would be like kind of a
Pre-Burning Man.
pre-man, yeah, pre-burn man.
A kindling man.
It's an ice child.
Ice child.
Yeah. Freeze the child. Yeah, I'm definitely super interested in that. There's so
It'd
many.
be dope to get our travel rig up and running to do a Burning Man podcast, and then on top of a Burning Man podcast to have people who listen to the podcast come with us, and
Yeah.
It'd be super sick.
cool.
Goals.
Yeah. I wonder almost like if that would take away from the experience of Burning Man, though.
I'm sure it would, so maybe not the first time, but I'd definitely like to go and document not only our experience, but the people that we brought with us.
Yeah, for sure.
And not in like a quote unquote Instagram model or influencer kind of way where you're only capturing the best parts in like the best and pretty parts. Like I just want to capture their whole experience and have them talk about it.
That's the thing is like I've been thinking kind of about what I want the YouTube channel to be eventually. And I think I talked about this on a podcast before, but I feel like eventually what it's going to turn into, if this ever becomes like something successful or we can fund it so that it can happen more, it's never going to be a niche thing because we're like habitually interested. We've talked about that on the podcast continuously, but it's going to be like going to go autocrossing with Jordan Tisdale and going to build minifigs with Ray and, training with Jeremy eventually and doing float tanks with whoever owns the float lab that we end up getting here. And it's going to be documenting our experience, living the lives of the people that excite us and figuring out like, I want to figure out why people do the things that they do.
Yeah.
Because the things like, regardless of what they do is exciting, I want to figure out why. And so the podcast is never going to be like, you're never going to be able to count on this podcast other than to the fact that it will be here every week.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to be like, are they going to teach me something this week? I would hope so, but it's not. I don't think it's going to happen every week.
No.
There's nothing I can guarantee you other than that I am going to be fully myself to your ear holes as often as I can. So eventually that'll be more episodes and stuff like that. Guys, we are dwindling, not like dwindling in the fact that we're going to stop doing this, but like we need assistance from you guys. We need to be better about it too. We need to post more on social media, and I've put out a first clip on YouTube, a shorter clip. It's more digestible. We need your guys' help to, I mean, like we understand that our personalities can be kind
abrasive.
Of like they're abrasive, so like a lot of the things that we say on here can be abrasive, and when you send this to your buddy, you can be like, what is my friend gonna think about me?
Because I listen to these degenerates.
But please, like, if you hear something that you like, if there's a certain clip, like if there's a part of a podcast that you really like, let me know, because I can make it a clip. I will post it on YouTube just so you can send that to your friend. Because we want more people to be a part of this. We need more people to view it and to listen to it so that to help us stay excited. I'm kind of touching bases, trying to find like some more guests that are kind of like different than just our friends. Like I'm looking into like possibly having someone who's a professional drifter. And certain things like that. I tried to reach out to a professional mountain bike photographer, but he didn't get back to me. But we'll see. Eventually, there's more people to reach out to, and this is only going to grow. But it's cool to be a part of this at like the lower level. Don't hold this to yourself and be proud, like, oh, I got this thing that nobody else knows about. You're still going to be. We know who you are. Who's a part of this now? I mean, mostly, most people have reached out and touched bases. But if you haven't told us like, hey guys, listen to the podcast, I hate it. Listen to the podcast, I like it.
You laugh too much.
You laugh too much. You're cunts. Touch bases with us, please. Ask us things that you would like to hear us talk about. I mean, we talked about us thinking about killing ourselves and a bunch of different crazy stuff. I'm sure that if you brought something up, it wouldn't be outside the norm for us to have a conversation about it.
We're pretty much open to talk about anything.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really
The only
think-
things that I wouldn't talk about are just things that I don't do. Like, it's like if I don't smoke pot because I can't.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm not going to talk about that. I mean, I'll talk about smoking pot and how, like, it would be kind of cool eventually to get to a place that I could do that. There's nothing really that I wouldn't talk about.
Yeah.
Other than stuff that I will definitely go, like, here's my opinion on it. I don't know as much as other people do.
Yeah.
I'll be pretty open about that. It's a hard time talking about, like, a race type stuff because I just go, like, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I love you all. That's all my thought is. Like, I'm sorry you're hurt.
Yeah.
Let's try to make that better. But yeah, touch bases with us. Let us know what's going on with your lives. Let us know if you want to come on. I talked to Colleen. Hoping to get her on here pretty soon.
That'd be dope.
She said anytime. I just haven't said anytime.
Haven't said this is the time.
Yeah, she was like anytime, and then I almost jokingly was just like, "Come today," because we wanted to do this one. But
Yeah.
it's a little bit.
We had a guest last time, didn't we?
Yeah, it's
Jordan.
Yeah, no, we're not lacking in guests. It's just like I definitely think people like guests.
Yeah.
Sometimes we aren't always enthused, and it's easy when you have a variable in there to kind of find those tangents and find those things that you want to talk about. We spent this whole podcast talking about like doing an Inception thing where you talk about the podcast on the podcast.
No, I don't remember what we started talking about, but I know it wasn't the podcast.
Yeah.
I feel like that just started with the 1% censorship shit.
I'm really depressed about the pizza, dude.
Yeah, that's super lame.
It fucking pisses me off. I mean, I'm definitely going to spend one of these days this week figuring out a recipe that I can eat.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm going to spend a whole day this week figuring out what the fuck is in the crust that adds all the carbs.
I'm going to figure out how to make a carpet bomb, and I'm going to drop it on pizza.
Fuck you, Mod. Well, I mean,
it
it's
hurts
still
my feelings,
delicious.
man.
I might go get Mod after this.
Fuck you, you dumb cunt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're just. I'm going to smash this thick glass over your head. Yeah, the keto thing is going okay lately.
Yeah.
I haven't been fucking around really. I did a little bit when we went to Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And
because we don't really have a choice up there.
Yeah, true. And that burger was really fucking good.
So
Holy
good.
shit, it was actually really good. I don't know if it was
just
it's up to
starving.
you, if it was the starving.
I thought it was good, but I was also starving. Just
but those fries were like
they were lit.
They were
still had the skin
fries
on it and everything.
And I did the European thing where you put mayo and ketchup together. It was so fucking good. They do just straight mayo, but like mayo ketchup together is
grosses
incredible.
me out so much.
It was actually good. I'm not mad.
I'm just saying, just the mayo grosses me out.
Yeah, no, I didn't mix it fully, so I just dipped some mayo. I was like, this shit's bomb. I use a lot of mayo on keto, so I'm kind of like, I don't use straight mayo. I use Chipotle mayo a lot. It's
but
like
you got to get that.
It's like a staple, dude. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I've been working out a good amount. I haven't hit that. I said I was going to hit a goal by the end of February, and I definitely haven't done that. I'm probably like 207-ish. But I feel like I'm getting
I feel like your
in
composition is changing, and that's why it's going to be harder to lose weight.
I feel like it's changing a lot. Colby keeps like being like, damn, son. Which, I mean, Colby's just like the best cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like he's just very supportive, which is awesome because he's fucking killing it.
Yeah.
He's down to 217 today, and I'm pretty sure he was like probably bumping 240-ish.
Damn.
Above 240, and he's only been doing it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just murdering it, dude. He's going hard. Yeah. He's the one who told me that Mod Pizza Head did that, and I both love him for telling me, and I also want to slit his throat.
Because he shattered your illusion.
It broke my fucking heart, dude. I called Chelsea, and I was like, what are you hungry for? And she's like, And I was like, I'm so hurt right now, I'm about to throw hands on you. Let me know what you want to fucking eat, because I'm going to lose it. It was going to break down, dude. I just couldn't do it. I was about to get Mod tatted on my chest.
You were just talking about, like, how Mod was your go-to. Was that on the podcast where you were saying that you go to Mod like any chance you get, or was that just a conversation?
No, we were just talking like yesterday, but literally it's like anytime Chelsea's working late, I'm like, fuck yeah, I can go get Mod.
Mod pizza.
It just sucks, dude.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks.
Get your shit together, Mod.
You can make fathead crust, which is like almond meal and cheese and stuff, and it's supposed to be really good. I just haven't done it well. Yeah. And so I just don't know that it's good, but if I do, then it'll be dope. But it's just like, being able to order something on your phone.
It's so easy and
like
so nice.
the thing about keto is I'm eating all good foods, but to still indulge my fat bitch self every once in a while is fun. Like to be like, ooh, I'm gonna eat Halo Top today.
Yeah.
Like Halo
order
Top
fucking
is
pizza.
not as good as regular ice cream.
It's not, but it's good
not,
for healthy
but it's
ice
good
cream.
enough. And you're like, I'm still going over my carb count a little bit today. I'm going into that low
Ooh, I'm
carb
a
range.
bitch.
Pretty much, dude. Yeah. And so those little victories, and to just take that one away and realize it was a huge failure that I made a few times. I'm just like, oh, that was fucking up my progress like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I could have been like probably another 5 pounds down possibly, because realistically that affects my body's ability to be in ketosis for possibly days.
Yeah.
So I did that consistently and I just fucked myself and that sucked. But I'm back in it now and I just ordered some new electrolytes. Yeah, I cannot wait to get a camera, dude. There's just so many ideas for videos that I can't wait to do.
Yeah.
Like I can't wait to do like a how I do keto video, like who's our favorite bands of the month, like what kind of I just can't wait to like take all these YouTube channels that I love and just say fuck it, I don't need like this kind of, I don't need an only snowboarder people to follow me. I just like want people who are like, that guy's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I want to watch videos that he does. Like I could do shit about our microphones and different stuff, and just like to be able to create cool, pretty-ish videos about whatever it is that is exciting to me. Because that's the coolest thing about life, is finding shit to be stoked about, man. Like there's so much stuff. Lately, it's been snowboarding. It's about to be mountain biking. I've been so into tattoos lately.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been into tattoos, but the fact that I set an appointment to actually get this fucking bitch worked on, I'm so excited, man, and I've just been so interested. I love being interested in stuff. It's the best.
Yeah.
Like, I feel compelled a lot of the time to just, like, post random shit on Facebook. And some of it's probably just ego, and I want to be like, people know what I'm doing right now. But also, I just get so excited about certain shit. Like, I had to go watch a bunch of Kadinja fucking videos today of their guitar playthroughs, because I'm just like, the riffs that these guys make are stupid. They're insane. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense how people can do shit this cool. And I get to listen to it while I do dumb shit. While I fucking work, I get to enjoy somebody else's art.
Yeah.
We get to do that constantly. You watch YouTube videos and you tweet about how shitty these certain people are, but those people are doing the shit that either makes you mad or makes you happy.
Yeah.
We're constantly just like having these conversations with people through energy, through our eyes, through talking, through phone calls, through tweets, through everything. You're interacting with this whole of the earth through the internet. You get to have conversations with just like people you're stoked about. You get to tweet like your favorite comedian and he'll favorite it.
Yeah.
Like when you like get retweeted by some dude who you're like super hyped on, that shit's cool, man.
Yeah.
And
I don't know anything about Twitter.
You don't know anything about the internet. You only go on the internet to watch Netflix, and you're a turd.
Yeah.
You need to go on YouTube. You need to learn all the stuff.
It just takes so much time.
Hey guys, will you guys like reach out to me and tell me something that I could have Googled already? That's Aaron.
I just told you that I prefer to hear it face to face, and I'm looking
Aaron, they're taking videos of their faces. It's called vlogging.
Oh my god! No.
You're gonna be the cranky old man, and I'm gonna be like the stoked little explorer. You're gonna be like, these gosh dang kids and their internet. I wish somebody would just call me on the telly.
Oh my god!
Why does nobody know my home phone number anymore?
I don't even know what a home phone number is.
What is a
anymore.
DVR?
I haven't had a home phone number since like 2003.
Blu-ray?
Oh Jesus!
I don't
Christ.
have that. Scuba Steve, damn you! Hillary. Where's my fucking Alex Jones voice? Return to the freaking frogs, gay. They're putting chemicals in the water. It's Hillary and her goons. The Rothschilds.
I still haven't watched that.
The Rothschilds are telling Aaron Newman to go on YouTube, and he's brainwashed by the CIA. He's a flat Earth shill. Rick, I don't really. Okay, I'll stop with the fucking stupid goddamn voices. This is bullshit.
It's bullshit.
This is bullshit.
So, back on track. I just finished Blink. It's a Malcolm Gladwell book about thin slicing and how too much information doesn't necessarily make for better decisions.
This is how you're countering my YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck you, Malcolm Gladwell.
But it's a really good book, and they go into detail about a whole bunch of different things about this one dude. He's a psychiatrist, but he would diagnose to a 80 to 90% rate of accuracy whether or not a couple was going to get divorced in the next 10 years just by watching a 15-minute clip of their interaction about just a benign conversation that had to do with their relationship. But he'd watch for, I think it was 14 different signals that either correlated in a positive way or a negative way. And the equation that he'd come up with after watching that would predict whether or not they were going to stay together or get divorced. And then there was another one. I just went blank. Split-second decisions. Oh, they were talking about like master tasters and shit, and the Coke and Pepsi blind sip test or whatever.
Blind taste test or whatever.
Yeah, and they went into a whole bunch of different things about how God damn it, I need Alpha Brain today because I'm just losing my train of thought. I
That
finished
Four
this
Sigmatic
book.
like made me like.
Yeah, I finished this book in like 2 days, so it was a whole lot of information.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were talking about how more information isn't necessarily better, and you're able to make super accurate decisions based on split-second things you absorb from what it is. But the thing that stuck with me, and I tried it today, was the interview that they did with somebody who studies facial cues and shit, and how, I forget what the terms were, but there was like A9, AU3, whatever, but it was basically the different muscles in your face and how they contract to show different emotions, and how autistic people, they can't read those. Like, I could raise my eyebrows and you'd be like, oh, you're fucking scared or surprised or whatever, but autistic people can't do that at all. But from that interview, they said that that's how we read minds, essentially. Like, we're able to read minds of people because we see what their brain is thinking on their face subconsciously, and that's how you can kind of get a vibe from somebody that they're in a bad mood without them saying anything or really even doing anything to put you in the know that they're in a bad mood. But what I tried doing on my way to work and my way home from work was forcing myself to smile for real. Like, at first it felt really stupid because I'm just sitting in my car with this dumbass look on my face.
Like the first time you smoked pot and you just can't stop.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm just so fucking high. Stop it. But I wanted to see if me smiling would actually put me in a better mood. And it did. So that kind of reconfigured.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, that reconfigured my thoughts on fake it till you make it, because I hate that saying.
Yeah.
I hate it a lot because it just, there's times where I don't want to fucking fake it. Like, just let me be pissed off. But I also know that that's the comfort of the darkness. Like, after you've been in it so long, it's comforting. Like, when you're in that depressed state, the depressed things make you feel at home. Yeah. And it takes less effort than trying to be happy.
It becomes a part of, like, if you're that Debbie Downer guy, it becomes a part of your identity.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that you've built, that you have, that other people don't have.
Yeah. It makes you special.
It's something you're attached to. It's like, it becomes in the same way that when I wrote poetry back in the day, it was like, it became almost like a trigger for me to have interactions with people. It was like, this is a part of my identity.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's just a really negative part of your identity.
Well, it's not even really a part of your identity. It's just, I mean, I understand that it feels like it is, but it's just that.
I just mean it becomes habitual.
Yeah, it's habitual. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's why, like, I get worried, like, Chelsea watching too much Kardashians and Teen Mom.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the negative vibes that it gives off, I feel
It
like
feels
that
really
adds.
fucking gross.
Yeah, it adds to, like, she'll be like, I just have RBF. And I'll be like, well, if you watch, like, a bunch of, like, smiling people all the time, it'd probably be a little different, I'd think. I don't know. I mean, I watch the C vlogs on YouTube, and I watch somebody just having fun in their life. And I'm always stoked. Like, I'm just, like... I don't know if I'm just on drugs, but like most of the time I'm pretty excited about stuff because I try to surround myself with people who are excited about stuff or, figure out how to be. Yeah. Yeah. You can continue with what you were saying about smiling.
I forgot what I was saying.
You were just talking about how like that like changed the way that you felt.
Well, yeah, I felt super pumped and it changed my perception on the fake it till you make it shit. Like maybe I was just thinking about that phrase wrong and maybe this is what it has been the whole time. To where like, oh, if you put on a smile. It's one of those
things that has a huge story behind it.
Yeah.
But it's a marker. Like it's just like a forward thing that you just say.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, really?
It's one of those buzzwords.
Yeah, but really it does have a huge meaning behind it.
Yeah. So, and there was another book. I think it was actually Stealing Fire where they talked about power stances. Did we talk about this on the Jordan one?
I don't know. Continue.
Okay. Well, power stances were basically like if you stand up and put your arms above your head like you're the fucking grand champ of the world or whatever, it'll actually prime you to be more confident and shit like that. So I always kind of thought of that stuff as like, oh, whatever, it's stupid. But I also feel like that's kind of my depressed baseline trying to hold me down still. So I've been trying shit like that regularly over the past couple of days. And I feel like that with snowboarding has kind of brought me up to the next level. I'm still tired as fuck all the time.
Well, that's what I was trying to do. I think, like, I don't want to be like, I did this. I definitely am not saying that because you've been doing, like, a lot of cool shit, too. I just mean, like, for the while when you got back, I was putting, like, things in your way that you had to do so that... Because I know what makes me feel better, and, like, maybe that's a problem that I only... fix people the way that it fixes me, and I only interact with things the way that it makes me feel.
Well, that's all you know.
Yeah, but for a while I was doing that, and I was like, hey, we're going snowboarding. And you're like, I don't have money. And I was like, we're going fucking snowboarding. And then you're like, I don't have any gear. And I was like, I bought you a fucking snowboard. Let's go. Like, I was just like, trying to do that, because I know that, like, there's those challenging things, those things that will bring you joy, those little things can just snap you out of whatever. Yeah.
For me, it's not like I don't ever get snapped out. Like,
but I mean, like it's like a snowball.
Yeah.
Like that's not. I don't mean like you're like, oh, I'm good now. Yeah. But like it's a snowball. So it's like that one time snowboarding. Like after that, you text me the next day and you're like, dude, that was really fun. Thanks for bringing me. And I was like, that triggered gratitude, which triggers like a strengthening of our friendship, and that gets you excited about something else.
And I keep going snowboarding.
Yeah, and then like a bunch of like, but it's just like it's all these things get leveled up from just tiny bullshit. Like, you know, it's like when you bring me a Red Bull and I didn't ask for it, I go like, oh, that's fucking swell. And then I go like, oh, remember that time Aaron brought me a Red Bull? It's like just, it can increase complete levels of my life. Yeah. Of nothing.
Small acts of kindness.
Like literal tininess.
Yeah. But I've been doing the power stance shit in the morning when I get up, like it's part of my stretch, because my arms are already up when I'm stretching and shit. So I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stay here for like an extra couple of seconds and pretend like I'm the king of the fucking world. But that with
I just batwing my nutsack. Yeah, I am Batman. Rachel,
Rachel, look at my nuts.
Rachel, look at this sack. Rachel,
oh,
where's Harvey? I'm gonna show him my sack.
Oh,
I'm sorry, listeners.
God damn it. But the power stance shit coupled with the smiling today, like, it put me in a fantastic mood. Like, I had only gotten 3.5 hours of sleep because of that weird brain lock shit that I got stuck in. Yeah. But I was still in a really good mood. And for the most part, I was pretty energized until I got home. So I think there's like a habit loop there that I need to break, is the drive home. I start.
You're talking about that when you read that last book,
the Habit book.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a habit now. Like, oh, I'm going home. That means I can take a nap. So that's my next thing to break. So I'm gonna keep doing the power stance and the fake smiling shit, and
that's what I did today. Because like it's also a habit of mine that on days that we podcast, I don't work out.
Yeah,
because I just go like, oh, we have this thing to do. But then when you were tired, I fucked up and I made you give into your habit.
Yeah.
But I was like, go take a nap, because then that meant I could go clean the garage and go work out. I don't fall victim to naps.
Yeah.
I'm bad though, because I probably should, because I won't go to bed on time regardless. Even
Yeah.
if I stay up, I just like I can just tell my brain I'm not tired. That's one thing.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm not sitting, I'm fine. But if I'm sitting, then I feel like shit.
yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm doing shit, like I can stay up late as fuck after not getting any sleep to go snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like I'm all about that shit. But if I'm here, then it's like, oh well, I'm just gonna take a nap. So naps are hard for me, especially because of that baseline depression that's still kind of lingering. It's definitely nowhere near where it was, because I was like, I don't want to do anything, fuck everything. I just want to sit and watch Netflix.
Oh yeah,
and
I
sleep.
could tell, because there's some times when I'd be like, "Here, you want to do this thing?" And you'd be like, "I'm just gonna eat pizza." Like, like okay.
Yeah, it was real bad. But I was also, the divorce was still kind of fresh, and I was still super bummed out about that.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh, whatever. I don't really give a shit about that anymore. So
I got other shit to worry
yeah,
about.
I got a nose roll in 360.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah, so definitely for anyone who's listening who's has more shitty days than good days, try the power stance and the fake smiling shit. Like, so with the smile thing, I felt two different levels of it. Like, you know, when you try and force yourself to smile and you can feel that it's not a real smile, like you have to push past that to the next level to where you feel yourself smiling with your eyes.
Yeah.
And like when I was doing it, at first I was like, this is stupid. And I'd start to laugh at the fact that I was smiling in my car like
Maybe
a dumbass.
that's why I'm reasonably happy, is because I feel like I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I think I do that like every time somebody has to take a picture, I just fake laugh. Like I just laugh.
Yeah.
And then it puts me in like a real smile.
Yeah.
That's the only way I know how to do it.
But that's what I was getting at, is like I started laughing at how stupid I felt, and then I was like, "Oh, this is it," and then I just held on to that
like a
as
fun
long.
game in your car. Yeah,
that I held on to that as long as I could, and I felt so much better. Like I didn't have a reason to feel good.
No,
Like there wasn't anything super cool that happened or that I was like excited to do, but I came home and I was like, "Oh yeah, I feel fucking good," except for I want to take a nap, but I think that's just because I got very limited sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, definitely play around with those, because
I started taking kratom again.
Yeah, getting on that crack.
Because the Heron. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, it's just like my anxiety's back a little bit.
Yeah,
and I hate it. It hurts me. It's like it's not fun. I just started almost doing the monologue that like Agent Smith does, and he goes, "The stench." Like, and he's like rubbing the bar. He's like, it's just, yeah. He's just like, I almost started doing that. I was like, it hurts me. I can smell the anxiety on the brim of your head. I must get out of this place. I must escape. I must escape this anxiety.
Oh fuck!
I must attain the kratom. But yeah, it helps me with anxiety and being tired. It's like a really good supplement for me. It's like I take it in low doses. I take 5 capsules, which is less than, it's like 2 grams, I think, which is nothing.
Yeah.
Of kratom, and it just kind of like helps me snap out of that a little bit. It gives me like a coffee cup level perk, on top of all the other 55 cups of coffee I have a day.
Yeah. That's something that I'm trying to cut back on too, is caffeine.
Yeah, for sure. I need to do that. It's just like
because that is
it's similar. It's like when I can't vape,
gasoline.
it's like a thing that I do. It's
Yeah.
like energy drinks. Like I don't drink soda, so I drink energy drinks, which is probably not better at all.
No.
Yeah, I mean, usually I'm drinking Zevia, so ones, which are good, but
or Bangs.
I don't drink Bang very often.
Oh.
They fucking taste so goddamn artificial that I just go like, this is probably not good for me. Yeah, they're kind of whack. care for them too much. I like 300 milligrams of caffeine, don't get me wrong, but they definitely don't work as well as... There was one called Steez. Swear to God, at Central Market. It was pretty good.
Steez.
But, yeah.
All about that snowboard life.
Yeah, dude. Well, we should hopefully have a guest on next week. Thank you guys for listening today. Hopefully you made it through the whole thing, and if you didn't, we still love you. Make sure to share your favorite episode of the podcast with your friends, please, Lord.
Yes.
We would really appreciate more. If you guys have a part of the podcast that you just like really enjoyed at one point, you're like, this, whatever this part was sick.
Yeah.
Whether it be a 15-minute chunk, whether it be a 2-minute chunk, a 7-minute chunk, I don't care. Let me know. I can post that in the form of a clip on the YouTube channel so that you can share just that part, so you don't have to share the part about us talking about our dicks to your family and your friends or what have you. We love you guys very much. Thank you so much for listening. And this has been episode 14 of Best Friends.
14, the first ever 14th
the
episode.
First ever 14th episode. All right, guys. Later. Love you.
Thanks again for listening to today's episode of the Best Friends Ask Why podcast.
If you like what you heard today, we'd really appreciate it if you could go on whatever service you use to listen or watch the podcast and leave us a review.
5-star reviews are what helps spread the word and build a community around our podcast.
If you have any cool guest ideas, questions, or just want to reach out, hit us up on our social media at BFAY. That's BFAWHY.
One last time, thank you very much, and we look forward to hearing from you.